Beauty is subjective as everyone has different preferences, types, and overall different definition of what beauty means to them. However, when you are a public figure, it's quite impossible to avoid hearing what others think of you, and that includes your appearance. Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I'm your host Melanie with InformOverload, and today we are going to be counting down 10 celebrities that got called ugly by fans. Before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. For our number 10, we have Pete Davidson. Many call him the Riz God because of all the insanely beautiful women he has dated. This long list includes Ariana Grande, Kim Kardashian, Kaya Gerber, Emily Ratajkowski, and Madeline Klein, just naming a few. Literally running out of breath because all these girls take my breath away, and because this list is just a mouthful. While many criticize Pete because they believe his appearance does not match up to the girls he's been dating, many people on the internet have said that his eyes resemble one's rear end after Barstool Sports posted an article referring to his eyes to that. I do notice most people calling him ugly are either men, which other women tend to disagree with as they think he's attractive, which I have to agree with. Sorry Kanye. But one Reddit post says, Pete Davidson is so ugly, he is no way is attractive in any aspects other than maybe his personality, with many comments agreeing with this user. But one user said it's the bad boy vibe, the tattoos, and I don't care mentality with his outfit. And when you combine the celebrity status and SNL money, they believe that's how he gets his ladies, before adding their own input by saying he's the ugliest effing guy I've seen dating hot girls. What do you think about this comedian, and if he just has some riz or is he actually attractive? To be honest, his I'm Just Ken parody turned him from a 10 out of 10 to an 11 out of 10 because he is Ken-enough, to me at least. And for our number 9, we have Janice Dickinson. Some refer to her as the world's very first supermodel, as she has been on the cover of Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Cosmopolitan. She has also gained herself the title of a TV personality after being a judge on America's Next Top Model, which she also has gained quite a bit of controversy for. So how did the supermodel suddenly get called ugly by the public? Well, in 2015, she appeared on the show Botched in hopes that the surgeons could fix her breast implants that were over 30 years old. Although she appeared on the episode for her concerns, many viewers took a notice to her face, as it appears she has tried to reduce her face from appearing to age, but too much of anything can be bad. Well, she has at least been open to some procedures, admitting to have gotten a facelift, breast implants, tummy tuck, neck lift, liposuction, and Botox. Although she is definitely a natural beauty, many believe she is barely recognizable, and of course, aging is completely normal and everyone goes through that, but some believe she may have overdone it a bit too much to her face. Under YouTube clips of her episode on Botched, one user commented, her age shows more when she tries to fight it as opposed to embracing it. With another writing, you can tell she fears aging. Look at the mess her face is. And some even expressed their concerns with her, with one user writing, oh my god, poor Janice. This is why it's unfair to pretend we are of age. It's okay to get old. Only the lucky get old. She's lucky to still be alive. We should be grateful for her wisdom. If your looks are the only thing you are worth, you're not worth much for long. So unfair to women. All these comments have received hundreds of likes, so it's clear many do agree with what they had to say. For our number 9, we have Donald Trump. This former US president and quite controversial figure definitely has not shied away from his own opinions surrounding others and their appearances. Well, his appearances alone have been talked about by many members in the public. One user on Quora wrote, why is Donald Trump so physically unattractive? I'm a Trump supporter, but I have to admit this. And the replies are all people providing evidence on why they believe Trump is unattractive. One person compared Trump to an orange because of his maybe too orange tone tan he has often that also isn't blended properly or applied right, because you can see all the areas of tan missed. Not only was he compared to an orange, but also a blobfish, Trolls dolls, guinea pigs, caterpillars, Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka, and even his hair to the hairs on a corn. And for number 7, we have Margot Robbie. I know I am making it clear right now, I am not one of those people calling her ugly, because look at her, literal Barbie right there. Anyways, I'm sure you all know how many people find Margot absolutely beautiful, especially after The Wolf of Wall Street and her role as Harley Quinn. It appeared she was a lot of people's girl crush. While following the release of the Barbie movie, Margot was a trending topic because many people called her mid, just means mediocre. I'm sorry, but if Margot is mediocre, then I am at complete loss of words. Many speculated and shared their thoughts onto Instagram showcasing Margot's photo next to the men who called her mid, and it was hilarious. Many of the same people calling her mid said she was a solid 9 out of 10 in her earlier roles, but now is mid, with some even calling her ugly. And of course, she was casted as Barbie, which meant she had had to fit the slim build, blonde hair, and everything associated with the Eurocentric beauty standards. And many argue she was casted for the stereotypical Barbie for this exact reason, because it can dive deeper into misogyny and power dynamics. It seemed more men specifically thought Margot was beautiful in movies like Wolf of Wall Street or when she was casted as Harley Quinn, while her characters in both these movies was more submissive and a character catered to the male gaze. At least that's what some may argue. But now as Barbie, she proves to be an independent woman made to empower women and not cater to men. Anyways, all I got from this is Margot Robbie is not mid. And for number 6, we have Donatella Versace. If the last name sounds familiar, it is because her brother was Giovanni Maria Versace, aka Gianni Versace, who is a late fashion designer. Donatella herself is also a fashion designer, model, businesswoman, and socialite. But over the years, she has been a topic for the media, with Daily Mail even releasing an article back in 2014 titled How Donatella Versace Transformed Herself into a Human Waxwork with Botox, Implants, and Laser Resurfacing. In some photos, her skin appears very shiny, which Dr. Amir Khan says is what happens when you use too much Botox and laser resurfacing, which is used to smoothen the skin. He also added how there's bone loss in her lower jaw, which he believes may have been an implant. One search on Donatella and it is flooded with all the public's opinion on her face, with some questioning what happened. Mark Norfold, who is a clinical director for Transform Cosmetic Surgery, also shared his thoughts on her face, as he says she definitely overdid the Botox because it's not natural for someone her age to have no lines or wrinkles. He also added her eyes appear half shut, which you see this happen to when people use too much Botox in their forehead and filler in their cheeks. In 2010, she did an interview with Love magazine where she said, "I'm not a believer in the natural look. I don't even know what my natural color is. Natural? What is natural? What is that? I do not believe in totally natural for women. For me, natural has something to do with vegetables." For number 5, we have Judy Garland. This late actress, known for her role as Dorothy in the iconic movie Wizard of Oz, has been mistreated for not being pretty enough to the studio executives. In fact, it's really upsetting how this movie that is loved by many has been proven to being extremely toxic, especially to Judy. Also, just a quick disclaimer, we are going to be talking about some topics that some may find sensitive. Well, before her role as Dorothy, when she was just 15, she was in Pigskin Parade, where many producers told Judy she looked like a pig in pigtails while they viewed her on camera. So they decided to put her on a strict diet, restricting her calorie intake to near starvation. A director who worked closely with her also called her an ugly duckling and treated extremely poorly. They would present her food and quickly take it away before she can take a bite, and also put her on many different substances. She definitely deserved to be treated better because there is way more that she went through that is too graphic to be shared on here. And for number 4, we have Jay-Z. He is married to Beyonce, as they both have very successful careers in the music industry, especially after Beyonce revealed through her album Lemonade that her husband has been unfaithful towards her before. Many shared their opinions. One user wrote, "How does someone as ugly as Jay-Z have the balls to cheat on Beyonce?" In fact, it was trending on Twitter after so many people shared their thoughts, with one user writing, "Everybody says to get an ugly dude because they won't cheat, but then they get comfortable and cheat anyways. LOL, look at Jay-Z." The comments don't stop there because the two shared 3 kids together, and when their firstborn Blue Ivy was born, just 2 days after she pops out of the womb, she was dubbed the most famous baby in the world by Time. But because she was in front of cameras from such a young age, many shared their opinions and called a literal child ugly, and some say she looks too much like her dad, which is extremely harmful to someone as young as she is, no matter what celebrity status. For our number 3 spot, we have Stefano Gabbana. He is an Italian fashion designer, and along with Domenico Dolce, the two co-founded Dolce & Gabbana. With a last name like that, you simply have to become a fashion designer. It seemed like a big majority of the internet began to bash him for his looks after he commented on Selena Gomez's appearance. First of all, beauty is subjective, but second of all, Selena Gomez? In 2018, an Instagram account by the name The Catwalk Italia posted 5 photos of Selena Gomez in red outfits with the caption reading, "Selena Gomez rocks red dresses. Choose your fave, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And in the comments, Stefano Gabbana decided to comment not about her style but her physical appearance. He wrote, "She's so ugly." And of course, with so many Selena fans and just people in general who don't think she's ugly, they were quick to defend Selena. They must have had the mentality of, if they go low, I go lower, because they did not hold back. One user replied to the fashion designer writing, "We don't care about your lame brand. Look at yourself in the mirror, dude, before you judge Selena. And another fan replied to this comment by writing, he doesn't have a mirror, or else he would have realized what an ugly duckling he is, with others calling him a snake, ugly on the inside and outside, and of course shading his fashion brand. Miley Cyrus herself even came to Selena's defense after commenting on a fan account on Instagram of a post of the two of them hugging from years ago. Miley wrote, well, what that D-head said, if it's true, is effing false and total bull. She's fine AF. For our number 2, we have Susan Boyle. In 2009, Susan would appear on Britain's Got Talent, and ever since then, her life has changed. From birth, she suffered from complications as she was briefly deprived of oxygen, which left her with mild brain damage. And in school, she was diagnosed with multiple learning disabilities, which made her a victim of being teased and bullied in school. In 2013, she revealed what they thought was brain damage was actually Asperger's syndrome. Well, from a young age, she was very drawn to music, and many of her teachers recognized her talent. She constantly would use all her savings to record professional demo tapes, which she mailed to multiple record companies, radios, and TV networks. And in 2009, she shocked the world as she performed with her incredible vocals on stage in front of judges including Simon Cowell, who were blown away. And after this clip went viral as millions viewed it, Susan was quickly labeled ugly by numerous news outlets, with just a handful of people at the time writing, is Susan Boyle ugly or are we? Because of how many people just shared their opinion on this poor woman's looks. Sharon Osbourne, who was a judge on the show, even made comments about Susan during her appearance on a radio station, where she called Susan an ugly stick and even compared her to a hairy rear end. Then she followed that by saying Susan was a lovely lady who needs a Gillette razor. Yikes. But in June of this year, she made a comeback onto Britain's Got Talent stage once again after overcoming a stroke, and she definitely still has her talent as she appeared in a blue sparkly dress, had her hair done, and just looked fabulous. She did before too, but I think people were just way too harsh on her. And in our number 1 spot, we have Ed Sheeran. So many people have constantly labeled Ed Sheeran as ugly, with social media accounts dedicated to his appearance. One user goes by @EdSheeranUgly on Twitter, and many have just publicly shared their opinions on the singer's looks. On the forum website Girls Ask Guys, one user asked if girls find Ed Sheeran hot, with one user writing, he's truly ugly. He's like a genetics experiment gone terribly wrong that somehow wasn't killed before being released for the world to witness such audacious atrocity, with others simply writing, he isn't my type but he looks cute somehow like a hobbit, with another calling him a guarded gnome. And because so many people talk about his appearance, he definitely has acknowledged it before. Back in 2015, he posted a picture of a letter he received from a fan in Korea who wrote, "To Ed Sheeran, my great singer, I hope you love the shirt. You are a little ugly but I love you. Please wear this shirt and get some 2015 concert tours. From Lee Jong-in, your fan." The good thing is, Ed didn't seem too bothered by this and didn't take it too seriously because he uploaded this photo with the caption, "God bless Korea." At the end of the day, beauty comes from within, so try to be a little nicer to others and yourself every day. I would love to hear your opinions on these celebrities we mentioned today or anything else you'd like to share. And if you made it this far, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.